I'm sorry, sir, but due to an equipment change we've had to reassign some seats. Your new boarding pass is for 32B middle. Seat economy, the gate agent said, her voice a practiced blend of Figned, apology and unyielding corporate script. Colonel Thomas Tom Callahan, 85, a Medal of Honor recipient, looked down at the flimsy new pass, then back at his original first-class ticket. There must be a mistake, he said quietly. This ticket was confirmed months ago. The agent just shrugged. Aircraft changes happen. 32B is your assigned seat. 8 minutes later, as Tom sat dejectedly near the crowded gate, a flurry of activity erupted. The airline's president, looking pale and harried, personally rushed to gate C12. If you believe true honor deserves more than a middle seat type respect. Below, Colonel Thomas Tom Callahan. Rhetoric 8 carried his 85 years with a quiet dignity that often made him invisible in crowded airports. His slightly stooped shoulders hinted at old burdens, but his eyes, though faded, still held a spark of the keen intelligence and unwavering resolve that had defined his distinguished military career. He wasn't one for ostentation. His travel attire was simple: comfortable slacks, a neatly pressed collared shirt, and a well-worn but clean sports coat tucked discreetly in his wallet. Almost forgotten was a copy of the citation that accompanied the Medal of Honor he'd received for extraordinary valor above and beyond the call of duty during a fierce firefight in Vietnam, where he'd repeatedly exposed himself to enemy fire to rescue wounded comrades and rally his besieged unit. He rarely spoke of it, considering it a testament not to his own courage but to the bravery of the men he'd served with. Today Tom was traveling to Washington, D.C. He'd been invited to a special commemorative event at the White House honoring Medal of Honor recipients. His granddaughter Sarah, a young Army captain herself, had used her saved-up frequent flyer miles and a significant portion of her own savings to book him a first-class ticket on Trans-Global Airlines. She wanted her grandfather, who rarely indulged himself and suffered from chronic back pain from old injuries, to travel in comfort and arrive rested for the prestigious event. The ticket had been confirmed months in advance. Seat 2A, a spacious window seat. He'd been looking forward to the quiet journey, a rare chance to relax. He arrived at the bustling airport with ample time, navigated security smoothly, and made his way to gate C12. The gate area was already crowded, the usual organized chaos of modern air travel. He approached the podium where two gate agents, Brenda and Mark, were managing the boarding process for Flight 714 to Dallas. Brenda, the senior agent, looked stressed, her smile tight as she dealt with a passenger arguing about carry-on luggage. Mark, younger and seemingly less flustered, was scanning boarding passes. Tom waited patiently in the priority boarding line, his original first-class ticket and boarding pass in hand. When his turn came, he presented them to Brenda. She scanned his boarding pass, frowned at her screen, then typed furiously, "Just a moment, Colonel Callahan," she said, her professional smile wavering. She conferred quietly with Mark, who also looked at the screen with a puzzled expression. After a few more taps, Brenda printed out a new flimsy boarding pass. "Colonel Callahan," she began, her voice taking on that carefully neutral tone that usually preceded bad news. "I'm sorry, but there's been an aircraft change for this flight. The original aircraft had a mechanical issue and the replacement plane has a different seating configuration with fewer first-class seats." Tom felt a familiar sinking feeling. "So what does that mean for my confirmed first-class seat 2A?" Brenda avoided his gaze, focusing on the new pass. "Unfortunately, sir, due to the reduced first-class cabin and the need to accommodate our Diamond Elite status passengers who were also affected, we've had to reassign your seat. Your new Assignment is 32B. She handed him the new pass. Tom looked at it. 32B, a middle seat in the very back of economy, from a spacious first-class window to a cramped economy middle, a middle seat in economy, he asked, his voice quiet but laced with disbelief. After I had a confirmed first-class ticket for months, I'm traveling to a White House event for Medal of Honor recipients. My granddaughter used considerable resources to ensure I could travel comfortably due to my age and service-related back issues. Brenda's expression hardened, slightly shifting from feigned sympathy to defensive recitation of policy. Sir, I understand your frustration, but aircraft changes are sometimes unavoidable for operational reasons. Our contract of carriage states that seat assignments are not guaranteed. We prioritize receiving based on fare class, paid and frequent flyer status. While your original ticket was first class, it appears to have been booked using partner miles, which places it lower in the priority queue than our revenue paying Diamond Elite members. During involuntary receding mark, the other agent looked uncomfortable. Shifting his weight, he opened his mouth as if to say something, then seemed to think better of it under Brenda's stern glance. So my confirmed ticket, my reason for travel, my age, my service. Tom paused, then added very quietly, my Medal of Honor status, which is noted in my booking as per TSA pre-check protocols. None of that matters. Brenda blinked, a flicker of something surprised disdain crossing her face. Medal of Honor. She glanced at her screen again, then back at him, her tone now slightly condescending. Sir, many people have commendable service records. Our system prioritizes based on paid fare and loyalty status. 32B is the best available seat we can offer you. Under the circumstances, you can request a partial refund for the fare difference after your flight, of course, by contacting customer service. There was no apology in her voice, no attempt to find a better solution, just a flat bureaucratic dismissal. Tom knew arguing would be pointless. He'd seen this kind of unyielding adherence to flawed policy before in far more critical situations. The casual disregard for his circumstances, for the honor he represented, stung more than the prospect of an uncomfortable flight. I see, he said, his voice barely a whisper. He took the flimsy economy boarding pass, the symbol of his downgrade, and stepped away from the podium, finding an empty seat in the crowded gate area. He felt a profound weariness. It wasn't about the luxury of first class, it was about the respect, the acknowledgement, the simple decency that seemed to be so easily discarded by a computer algorithm and an indifferent gate agent. He sat watching other passengers board the now boarding first class announcement, feeling like a cruel irony as Tom sat there, a quiet anger simmering beneath his weary resignation. He remembered something his granddaughter Sarah had told him when she booked the ticket. Grandpa, she'd said, Trans Global has a special heroes liaison desk for situations like this, for active military and distinguished veterans. If there's any problem, you call this number directly. It bypasses the regular customer service. She'd written the number on a small card and tucked it into his travel wallet. He dismissed it at the time, not expecting to need it now. With a sigh, he pulled out his wallet and found the card. It was a long shot. These special numbers were often just another layer of bureaucracy, but he had nothing to lose. He dialed. The phone was answered on the second ring, not by an automated system, but by a calm professional human voice. Trans Global Airlines Heroes Liaison, this is David. How may I assist you? Tom briefly explained his situation. Colonel Thomas Callahan, Medal of Honor recipient, confirmed first class, seat 2A, on flight 714 to Dulles for a White House event, involuntarily downgraded at the gate to 32B economy middle due to an equipment change. Gate agent unresponsive. To circumstances, he kept his voice calm. Factual, avoiding emotion. David on the other end listened intently, typing rapidly. Colonel Callahan, please confirm your booking reference and current gate number. Tom provided the information. One moment, Colonel. The line was quiet for perhaps 30 seconds, filled only with the distant sound of keyboard clicks. Then David returned, Colonel, I see the situation. Please accept my sincerest apologies on behalf of Transglobal Airlines. This is unacceptable. The equipment change was genuine, but the handling of your receiving was not in accordance with our dedicated protocols for distinguished service members, especially those traveling to official honorific events. Please remain at Gate C12. This is being escalated to the highest levels. Immediately, someone will be with you. Very, very shortly. The line disconnected. Tom wasn't sure what to expect. Highest levels. Very shortly. It sounded like corporate platitudes. He leaned his head back and closed his eyes. The noise of the gate area fading into a dull roar. 5 minutes passed, then 6. Boarding for economy class was now well underway. 7 minutes precisely. 8 minutes after Tom ended his call with the hero's liaison, the relative calm of Gate C12 was shattered, not by an announcement but by the sudden urgent arrival of a small entourage moving at near sprint speed through the crowded terminal, leading the group. His face pale and beaked with sweat despite the air conditioning was Mr. Edward Sterling, the president and CEO of Transglobal Airlines himself. Flanking him were 2 senior vice